You can see how well he's seeing the ball, the way he's taking those close pitches. Boy, when you get in a hot streak like Wick's in right now, everything is in slow motion, and he's really swinging the bat well. 337 average. 4 homers.
Way upstairs from McCarthy, 3-0. Ernie had his 7th career 4-hit game against the White Sox a week ago Saturday at Comiskey Park. So the White Sox pitching has really helped turn Ernie's year around.
You need a shot like that just to have a big game like that, get your confidence back, and it carries right on over into the subsequent games after that. And Wick's done a good job of that. I got to believe he's going to have the green light in this situation.
Ice with a word to his pitcher, McCarthy. Activity in the Chicago bullpen. 3-1.
That surprised me. There's Bobby Thigpen, the ace of the White Sox staff. Don McCarthy has given up only a pair of hits since coming in the 6th inning.
Somewhat clumsily, but Martinez makes the play. 1 out. And here comes Nelson Lariano, who for a moment, if he would close his eyes and pretend McCarthy has got a no-hitter going, might do a little better.
Break things up right here tonight.
Looking to butt his way on. 1-0. McCarthy missing. Breaking ball down low. He's behind again at 2 balls and no strikes. You think the Blue Jays are in trouble now, 5.5 back? If they win today, Buck, they'll have the same record they had after 48 games last year, 20 and 28, but then they were 12 games off the pace.
Yes, that's what the East is doing this year, and if the Blue Jays just look up at the standings and say, hey, all we got to do is string together some games, we're right back in it. Big road trip coming up. They go to Cleveland, then to Boston.
The unlikely leaders, the Orioles, 2 games above 500. Red Sox and Yankees both losing last time we looked this afternoon. Again, Lariano taking on 3-0 as a 3-1 count now.
He'll probably have a pretty good look at this pitch as well.
Hit hard to right, and he misjudged it. Calderon ran in, it's over his head. Two bases for Lariano.
Has had a tough day in right field. Now Jeff Torborg, the manager, will take a slow walk out there. Lariano on a 3-1 pitch jumps all over this fastball. He hits it right on the nose, but it should be right at Calderon, who kind of drifted on it, and then the ball took off on him. Goes all the way up against the wall. Lariano has a 1-out double. Good swing right here by Lariano.
It was time to swing because he offered great pitches on 3-0 to Witt, who was taking. A great pitch to Lariano, 3-0. And Nelson figured, hey, it's time to join the party and turn on it, and he did. So they are waving, rollicking in the waiting moments of the baseball life of Exhibition Stadium as Torborg makes the pitching change to his ace, Bobby Thigpen.
Thigpen picked up his 7th save in yesterday's game. The hard-throwing right-hander will come on. Pitched 2 innings, gave up 3 hits, struck out 3. He hasn't had that many opportunities simply because of the way the White Sox have been struggling this year.
If you're taking your trivia notes on closing day here, as of right now, the last home run hit at Exhibition Stadium was hit by Lloyd Mosby in the 6th inning. Who will collect the last base hit and collect the final run here to make this 5-5 tie? Here's Thigpen warming up.
saves on the year for Bobby Thigpen. This will be his 18th game.
One of them yesterday.
Strikeouts a bit down from his previous years, but he hasn't had that many opportunities. He's a power pitcher who needs to work pretty frequently to keep the velocity up there.
He's given up just 9 earned runs over 22 innings, and last year with 34 saves set a Chicago club record.
Chevy, I just want to remind the folks at home that Tom Cheek will be our guest on Extra Innings immediately following this game. Of course, Tom was here for first pitch. He has seen every inning of every ball game. We have a lot of memories to discuss with you, the folks at home. There's the number to call. Give us a call select 445-1811.
Blue Jays with the winning run at second.
And you can hear Tom Cheek in the background.
Felix coming up to try and win it.
Doing his thing as he has done without exception since day one. In total dedication and devotion to this Toronto team. Junior Felix will hit from the left side of the plate against Thigpen. Lariano at second base, 1 out of the 5-5, ninth inning tie.
Felix is a good fastball hitter. And Thigpen will come right at you. Fastball slider, so Felix will be looking for that first good fastball and have a hack at it.
It was a rookie named Albus Woods who struck first in '77 on April 7th. Will a rookie strike last here to close this stadium? Junior Felix. Like what? We could expect some pretty good heat from this pitcher.
Thigpen has good velocity. Out of Mississippi State University, played with Rafael Palmeiro for the Texas Rangers now.
Down low, 1-1. So the Dominican connection trying to get it done here. Lariano getting aboard of the 1-out double. Felix is the plate and Tony Fernandez on deck.
The White Sox outfielder will be very hard-pressed to get Lariano at the plate on a base hit. They're playing relatively deep. Pasqua doesn't throw well in left field. Calderon just average in right.
First baseman's got it. Martinez across the sixth, and they just get him, but over to third now with 2 down is Lariano.
Pretty nice play by Bobby Thigpen. The pitcher covering first base. That ball was thrown behind him a little bit, and he really had to concentrate. He played outfield at Mississippi State. And Martinez, the first baseman, makes a tough throw to him. Watch how Martinez kind of throws it behind Thigpen. He's got to reach behind him and step on the bag at the same time. We saw Thigpen make a nice defensive play when he rushed over to the on-deck circle in yesterday's game to catch a pop-up off Felix. Now Jeff Colborg, the manager, out having a chat with Thigpen about how they want to approach Tony Fernandez.
Morrison breaks up that conference. Thigpen will go to work to Fernandez.
They wanted to make sure that Thigpen had in his mind how he was going to pitch to Fernandez if he wanted to, in fact, pitch to Fernandez. Fernandez is down right now, but boy, he's a good clutch hitter. 1 for 3 on the day. And he's going to have to pitch carefully to Fernandez, but that's not Thigpen's style. His style is go as hard as he can. So you might be creating a monster by telling him to be careful to Fernandez.
We're going to go to extra innings. Tony jumps to the first pitch, leaving Lariano at third and extending the life of this ballpark just a little bit longer, and maybe that's the way it should be. 5-5 after regulation on 10 White Sox hits, 8 for the Blue Jays.
You're watching Labatt Blue Jays baseball on TSN.
Well, the Chicago White Sox spoiled the party on closing day here after the Blue Jays had surged ahead 5-2. They rebounded with 3 runs, making Dave Steve a no-decision pitcher again. It's tied in the 8th, and it remains that way as they go to the 10th inning at Exhibition Stadium this afternoon. Ernie Witt, as they announce now, remains behind the plate. He came on to pinch hit for Bob Brenly. Freddie Manrique, Steve Lyons, and Dan Pasqua, the scheduled hitters for Chicago here. Manrique, of course, the player with an extensive Blue Jay background, mainly in AAA with Syracuse, the odd look with the big team, but he's found himself permanent work now in Chicago. Manrique in the last 9 games has gone 9 for 32. At his 13th RBI yesterday, and only 37 last year. He did some damage in the 8th inning, driving home Chicago run. Strike one.
Good changeup. He throws that split finger pitch, and Manrique was out in front of it. That's the pitch that Hinkie has mastered all year long. The thing that has hurt him is his velocity and his command of his fastball.
Down and away, gets him fishing for strike 2. As the next catcher, Buck, I'm sure you'd agree, as Hinkie suggests, I need the ball, I need the work to work out my problem. So far, it looks like that's true.
The more work he gets, the sharper he'll be with his fastball, and the more confident and the more velocity he'll have.
It is wide for ball 1, 1 and 2.
Ideally, Hinkie would like to work about 4 times a week.
Yeah. Kind of pitcher who needs that kind of work at this stage of his career, at least. Struck him out. So back-to-back strikeouts, and you go back to the fan of Calderon to win the 9th inning by Tom Hinkie.
Another changeup. Manrique just foul tips it. Witt hangs on. So Hinkie, for the time being, has that strikeout pitch working.
Here's Steve Lyons. Former member of the Boston Red Sox. Dealt to Chicago, listed in the air foul and out of play. And somebody with a fish net didn't have a long enough handle to collect the closing day souvenir. Lyons scored today, reaching on a fielder's choice in the 2nd. That was the first run of the ball game. The Jays tied it in the 3rd. Sox went ahead with a single to the 4th inning. 4 Toronto runs to 6th, made it 5-2, and then right back with 3 came the White Sox in the 8th to send us into extra innings. 1-1. That's outside away from the left-handed hitter, so it's a ball and 2 balls and a strike.
This is the situation where Hinkie doesn't want to back himself into a fastball situation with Lyons at the plate. Lyons a good fastball hitter. Not a power hitter, but he's got alley power. He can drive the ball up the alleys, especially when he can look for a fastball.
2-2. Lyons, a fairly mediocre lifetime hitter of .248 average coming in today against Toronto. Dan Pasqua scheduled next. Little tapper. Mariano with time to get there. The flip. Good hustle by Lyons. They just do get it.
That was a funny play because McGriff might have had a better shot at making the play. But Chuck Merriweather, right on top of the play, signals Lyons safe. Watch Mariano how close he is to first base. Now he shuffles hard. Lyons always hustling, beats it. But that ball wasn't that far away from McGriff when it started out. He might have been better off to take it himself and have Hinkie cover the bag.
So he beats it out. Becomes a pivotal base runner here. One more look at it.
See how close Liriano is to first base. There's a look at the play. Just by half a step. Lyons with good hustle down the line.
Well, he reaches on the close call, the infield single. They'll work on him over at first base now with Pasqua the hitter. And Pasqua has made half a dozen starts, came off the disabled list, the ex-Yankee did in mid-May. There's 33 games. Fractured his right wrist in early April against the California Angels. Diving back in safely is Lyons.
Pasqua hurt that wrist going for a foul ball, ran into the fence. Second game of the year. Lyons doesn't have outstanding speed, but he's a pretty good base runner. You can see he has a pretty good lead there at first with 1 foot on the turf.
He's a hustler, an opportunist. False start.
Come on, Danny.
And it's the ball and no strikes to Pasqua.
Pasqua, a couple of hits on the day, 3 RBIs. But a sacrifice fly in the 4th inning. 2-run single in the 8th.
Hitting just 159 lifetime against this Toronto club. That's both as a Yankee and a member of this team. Lyons had to hustle a little bit harder there on the hard throw from Henke.
There Come on, Danny. Might be a good time for Torborg to put the hit and run on. Pasqua has made good contact all day long.
Cat and mouse continues. Torborg's White Sox, with the most losses of any major league team, not giving up easily here, intent on spoiling this party at Exhibition Stadium before more than 46,000. In case you're just joining us, 5-5 is the score, top of the 10th inning. Lyons at first base with 1 out. Round goes Pasqua. California has beaten Boston today 3-0. Oakland leads the Yankees 4-3. Cleveland has beaten Baltimore 1-0. That'll tighten them up a little more at the top as the Jays get set to go to Cleveland tomorrow.
Another good changeup by Henke. Pasqua out in front of that one.
Strike 2. Big home run uppercut by Danny Pasqua, and he swung through it.
There's that good velocity on that fastball that Henke gets upstairs. Good combination. Go with that split finger pitch down in the strike zone, and then come back with that good fastball that'll ride upstairs.
Well, there are many points in which a game can change and turn on you, but one the Jays may look back on here is the play with Walker at third base, when he inadvertently rabbit punched with an uppercut Kelly Gruber, who lost the ball. Walker went on to score. That run taken away would leave the Blue Jays home to celebrate right now. Close at first base, but safe is Lyons.
The way Lyons was hung up out there makes me believe that he might be running on this. It's really not a great running count, a ball and 2 strikes on Pasqua. But it looked like Lyons had second base on his mind right there.
We will see. There he goes. Your right back swings through it. Good throw. Good low throw by Ernie Witt. I thought might have gotten him.
It looked like Fernandez took the ball on the shortstop side of the bag, and then he was late with the tag. The throw on the shortstop side, now he's got to come across, and it looked like Lyons' foot just beat Fernandez's tag. Jimmy Evans, the umpire at second, see the ball trail onto the shortstop side. Lyons with a good slide to the outside. Jimmy Evans right on top of it. Said that the tag was late. Good throw by Witt, though.
Call from a veteran umpire down there. So Lyons survives his 5th stolen base. Pasqua striking out. The hitter is Carlos Martinez. He hit his first career home run yesterday right here. And did it in front of the opposing manager, Cito Gaston, who was his idol as Martinez grew up.
In La Guaira, Venezuela. Gaston playing winter ball down there for the Tiburones.
See.
Boy, there's some velocity right there. Foul tip. He didn't have to appeal because of Danny Morrison, the home plate umpire.
Oh, he's hot,
He
Martinez.
said, that didn't hit my bat. That's a great shot right there. Take a look at the umpire. Watch the umpire's reaction right here. He checks his swing, and quickly Danny Morrison comes up with the foul tip signal. Ernie Witt asking for the appeal, but Dan Morrison said no, it went off his bat. Foul tip. Martinez didn't think so.
He is the tallest Martinez I've ever seen.
By far. He towers over me.
Young man is 2 strikes to 0-2. Veteran closer Henke against a promising young player with a build that really reminds you a little bit as you look at him, young Dave Winfield.
Sure does. Winfield 6'6", Martinez 6'5", but boy, he's got a lot of leverage like Winfield. We saw it yesterday when he took Cerruti out to the opposite field. We got conferences going on all over. Ronnie Clark, the third base coach, coming down to have a chat with the young hitter. Witt just returns from the mound discussing things with Tom Henke. The go-ahead run at second base.
And the 0-2 from Henke. Mariano collects it. We'll go to the Blue Jays 10th inning. Still locked and a 5-5 tie. Chicago stranding Lions at second. You're watching Labatt Blue Jays baseball on TSN. Don Chevrier along with Fergie Oliver, Buck Martinez joining you for a little extra inning drama to close out this ballpark. 5-5. Blue Jays have got 3 power hitters in a row coming up to face the White Sox as they try to win it before a home crowd in excess of 46,000. Here they are, Gruber, Bell, and McGriff, all scheduled here in the 10th inning.
They're facing the White Sox best, Bobby Thigpen. Power pitching right-hander. Generally in save situations, but with the tie score late in the game. It's his time. Jeff Colborg brought him on to face Witt as a pinch hitter back in the 9th inning.
And it may be Kelly Gruber's time, Buck, because he came in with just 3 hits in the last 22 appearances. Promptly singled twice, the second an RBI base hit. Walked, stole a base, scored, and doubled in the 7th inning. A productive afternoon for the Toronto third baseman. You get the feeling here that one swing of the bat could end it at the X.
It'd be so appropriate for the final game at the X.
Sure would.
Gruber perfect on the day.
A double dose of right-handed power followed by the awesome left-handed power of Fred McGriff challenging Thigpen here. And that is ball 1. And that was the incident earlier when Kelly took the shot from Greg Walker, had him dead to rights at third base, but with the contact, lost the ball. We alluded to it earlier, and that's the difference in the ball game, why it's tied 5-5 right now. Walker went on to score. Down and in, skips away. It is 2 balls and a strike. Buck, what about you? What's number 1 on the way of memories for you in this ballpark?
Personally, it'd have to be that home run I hit against the Tigers in the 12th inning.
You betcha.
2-run homer.
Great moment. Fouled out of play, 2-2.
Against the right-hander.
Yeah. An extra challenge.
Aurelio Lopez. Oh, there were so many great times. That game itself was a great memory with Jimmy Key and Dan Petrie hooked up.
Oh, yes. Drilled into the gap. It's headed for the wall. Bouncing off the big blue pad, and Gruber's got a double. It may be the beginning of the end.
Kelly Gruber certainly exploding out of a tailspin at the plate with 4 hits today. Reached base all 5 times. He shows his versatility by going the opposite alley this time. Drives it into right center. And with that outstanding speed, coasting to second base, he represents the winning run. 4 for 4 on the day. That'll be a lasting memory for him in the X.
George Bell is the next hitter.
Well, that's a long time ago.
From the archive.
You look like you're about 8 years old in that picture.
I think he was 9. Buck
Actually,
Martinez.
20. 1969.
I hope your wife didn't see that picture. She he never would have married you if you'd seen it.
He's hidden it all these years until now. Bell takes the strike.
Well, this would wrap the X up pretty nicely if George Bell could come through with a base hit. All the great games he's had here. We'll top it off with him. Game-winning base hit.
There it goes, and Bell wraps up the Exhibition Stadium history with a dramatic two-run shot of Bobby Thigpen. The Blue Jays win it 7-5. An era that lasted 12 years, 7 weeks, and 2 days. A total of 968 games that produced a full cycle of emotion. Rain, snow, wind, and cold will bother us no more, but the multitude of memories will never fade. Bertie?
Well, Chevy, it was a pleasure. You brought the Blue Jays in. You took them out here. And what a dramatic finish for the Jays. George Bell, an MVP, takes Thigpen deep.
It's only appropriate that Bell, who has enjoyed so many great games here in the Exhibition Stadium, comes through with an extra inning. Two-run homer of Chicago White Sox Bobby Thigpen. Just a great swing and maybe a sign of things to come.
That pitcher's on the inside part of the plate, too, Buck.
And when Bell gets in a groove, he can hit him anywhere. But Kelly Gruber, 4 for 4 on the day, sets the table for Bell with a double into right center. And they certainly have sent home this crowd of over 46,000 for a very happy memory of the Exhibition Stadium.
Well, if you look back, Bell wasn't all that impressive at the plate today, but he came through when it counted. Hit into a double play in the first, had 2 men on. Same thing in the third, fielder's choice, with a couple of runners on, and then he walked, and then he grounded out. But he comes through. And they were expecting some people to look for some mementos here at Exhibition Stadium, and you can see the mounted policemen and all the security guards.
And I think it's very appropriate that the Toronto fans have shown class once again. And they've enjoyed a great afternoon here this Sunday afternoon with a great Blue Jays victory, the final game at Exhibition Stadium.
Well, we've never really had rowdy fans. The only time that I can remember is back in '85 during the playoffs. You only had the odd fan run out onto the stadium, but that's not going to happen here today. And folks, this is it. We want you to stay tuned for extra innings. But the final score here at Exhibition Stadium for the final time, the Blue Jays win it 7-5. You're watching Labatt's Blue Jays baseball on TSN. TSN Turning Point brought to you by Converse. Make no mistake about this one. George Bell on an 0-1 count from Bobby Thigpen with Gruber at second. An inside part of the plate fastball takes deep. And for George Bell, his 6th home run, 27 RBIs, the final home run hit here at Exhibition Stadium. And that does end an era at Exhibition Stadium. A cash donation will be made to Amateur Sport on behalf of TSN and Converse, King of the Hill. As the fans slowly file out of Exhibition Stadium, many are standing, watching, waiting, and having one final look at Major League Baseball Stadium where it all began back in 1977. But this is where we'll be come June the 5th. The new home, the Sky Dome. Blue Jays win it 7-5. You're watching Labatt's Blue Jays baseball on TSN. Blue Jays baseball has been brought to you by Labatt's Blue, the clean, true taste of Canada. By Esso retailers and agents across Canada. By your local bottler of Coca-Cola Classic. And by General Motors of Canada. This has been a special presentation of the Sports Network, produced in association with TV Labatt, by authority of the Toronto Blue Jays Baseball Club. The final score, the Blue Jays beat the White Sox 7-5. The winning pitcher, Tom Hankey at 3-3. The loser, Bobby Thigpen at 0-1. The Labatt's players of the game: for Toronto, George Bell. He'll receive the Weed Eater. And for Chicago, Dan Pasqua. He'll receive Cannon's new Prima Shot. As well, an amateur baseball team will be the guest of George Bell and Weed Eater at a future Blue Jays game. And all members of the Blue Jays pitching staff receive a selection of fine gifts presented by Duracell, the one that lasts. And by Absorbine Jr., Canada's #1 liniment. Our baseball magic winner, F. Shantos of Mount Elgin, Ontario. And Major League Baseball next on TSN. Tomorrow evening at 8 p.m. Eastern, the Expos and the Los Angeles Dodgers. And Tuesday, May 30th at 7:30 Eastern, when the Cleveland Indians play host to the Blue Jays. Now, stay tuned for Extra Innings, and our guest will be radio broadcaster Tom Cheek. Give us a call, collect. Baseball magic at all A&P Dominion stores. This year, 3 ways to win. Win up to $10,000 instantly. Win trips for 2 to Orlando, Florida, home of Walt Disney World. All trips provided by Treasure Tours, a world of vacations. Or collect and win GMC trucks, microwaves and VCRs from Sharp, diamond rings from Cyril's, or sports watches from Citizen. This week's features, Stokely Van Camp, a tradition of convenience, quality, and value. Sunny Delight, Florida Citrus Punch. Nothing else delights you like Sunny Delight's juicy good taste.
So what's little dandruff?
Okay, imagine you're at the social event of the year, and your dream girl says hello, just as you do this. Her first impression? What a hunk. Throw me a few flakes.
Give me a break.
The breaks are you never get a second chance to make a first impression.
So?
Try this.
Head and Shoulders? But you don't have dandruff. Your hair looks great.
Bingo.
Head and Shoulders, because you never get a second chance to make a first impression.
When he gets here, because he has seen every pitch, every inning, every game.
No bigger fan next to you, Fergie, than Tom Cheek. He's seen all the games, and he's seen the whole entire history of the Blue Jays develop, and it was all wrapped up here today in Exhibition Stadium.
Tom is here.
And
Slide in, old
moving
partner.
right in. Did you write the script for this game today, Tom?
Absolutely. Absolutely. I said a fitting ending here would be to go to the 10th inning, let Kelly Gruber drive one up the gap, and then Bell to hit it out. I mean, what can be better than that? What a way to
finish. Did you
finish.
actually say that on the air?
No, I wish I had.
Okay, Tom Cheek, thanks for dropping by. We've got Steve from Toronto for our first call for Tom Cheek. Come on in, Steve.
How you doing, Tom?
I'm just fine. How are you?
Oh, very well. Really enjoy your radio broadcast, sir.
Thank you very much, sir.
Excellent quality.
Thank you.
I wanted to know what you thought about this new Dome Stadium, and I wanted to know how you thought it compares to other stadiums that you've worked at.
Very difficult question because we really haven't worked in it. The only time I've been in the Dome, Steve, was before spring training, and that was to go in, take a look around. I wanted to see, frankly, from a broadcast point of view, how far and how high, and I understand that we're going to be just about the same angle from the plate, maybe 9 feet higher over there, and that's about as far away, frankly, as I want to be. But other than that, I don't know that much about it, but like everybody else, we're looking forward to moving in.
All right, let's go to our next call.
Town in Toronto. Come on in.
How you doing, Mr. Cheek?
I'm just fine. How about yourself?
Cheek, I would like to thank you for the years of commentary that has kept the game so visual to me over the years. I really appreciate it.
Well, believe me, it's our pleasure.
I wanted to ask you, with all the games and the pitches you have seen, what is the combination of ingredients the Toronto Blue Jays have to put together to go over the top?
Well, if you really, wanted to try and now pick this thing apart, and we're flush with victory here this afternoon after winning a big one, but I really think that the Blue Jays need a little bit more firepower. We lost Jesse Barfield. We lost, a bundle of home runs right there, at least the potential for them. So I think maybe a little bit more firepower is definitely needed. I'm really excited about the way the pitching thing has come around here. I know Dwayne Ward had a little bit of a bad one today, but if you look back over the scorecards, his earned run average has gone from up in the stratosphere down to under 3 going into today's game. Big Tom Hinkie has really hit his stride now, as we've seen in the last couple of days. So I think that the Blue Jays have the pieces in place for the most part, but maybe a little bit more firepower. Pat Gillick from the outset has been looking for another bat, another experienced outfielder, and I think that maybe is needed.
Okay, let's go to TJ in Toronto.
Hi, what was your most memorable experience at Exhibition Stadium, and how do you think the Jays will do at their new dome?
I didn't catch the first part.
Your most memorable moment here at Exhibition Stadium, Tom Cheek.
Well, I think really that anybody who has been associated with it over the years would have to agree that 1985, George Bell sinking to his knees out there in left field, and Fergie Oliver yelling, "How about those Blue Jays? They win it 9 years, da-da-da-da-da-da." That was a wonderful moment. For myself personally, I'd have to go back really to the first broadcast. I stood outside this ballpark back in the mid-'70s with my family, first time ever in Toronto. We were over at Ontario Place, just busman's holiday, and the cranes were up in here, and they were renovating the place, and I said to no one in particular, I said, someday they're going to play baseball in this city. They're going to play it in there. Boy, would I like to be a part of that, never realizing that today would have ever arrived and we'd be talking about the end of one era and beginning a new one.
All right, let's go to Norm in Toronto.
Tom,
Yes,
how's it going?
it's fine.
Listen, Tom, what do you think? You've seen them since day one. Sports Illustrated picked this team to go all the way. Is it possible that they're overrated and they're not going to go all the way and they're really terrible?
Well, I wouldn't say really terrible. I think that this club has, and as we said a moment ago, answering the other fellow's question, I think that this club has the wherewithal to win this thing. I think it's very fortunate that the American League East is as topsy-turvy as it is this year. If there was ever a season where one club could just wave goodbye to the rest of the pack and disappear over yonder hill, this is the year. But nobody has shown the ability to do that. So while everybody else is shadowboxing and trying to get into position for some kind of a knockout punch, the Blue Jays are buying time. And I like some things that I'm seeing happening. I picked the club to win it going into the season, and I'll stand by that right now to win the American League East. But again, I think there might be a missing piece here and there, and I'll go back to the premise that, we presented to the other fellow, maybe the lack of a little bit of firepower. And if they get that, I like the chances.
Okay, let's go to Pamela in Toronto.
Come on in, Pamela.
Hello.
Pamela,
Hi, Tom.
Hello.
Hi, how you doing?
I'm just fine.
I really enjoy hearing your announcement. I really look forward. I was wondering whether the 5th of June, are we going to have any doubt for opening game?
Are we going to have...
Any doubt for the Sky Dome, the home opener? Do you think we'll be there?
Well, the only way I can answer that is this way. Paul Beeston, who has his ear to the rail on such matters at all times, told me just yesterday that we were, I had the great honor of throwing out the first pitch here today, and they were giving me the business about that, and I said, well, let's don't get too excited. Maybe it won't be the last first pitch, if you will. And he said, count on it. It will be. We're going to be over there. So I'm hanging my hat on that. I think that we'll be there June 5th. I don't know.
I agree with you.
Exactly
I think we will be
what
too.
the situation will be, but we'll be there.
All right, let's go to Alex in Toronto.
Hi, Tom.
Hello.
Yeah, I think you and Jerry got the greatest voice in baseball.
Well,
I was
thank you.
wondering when you guys are going to try to get a job announcing on TV.
Tough competition, boy. It's really rough over here in TV.
Hey, take a good look. This is a face made for radio. I understand that. I don't know if anybody else does. I understand that.
All right, well, let's get rid of that guy. We're going to go to a commercial right now.
Gas him, quick.
We'll be right back with our guest, Tom Cheek, in just a moment. Don't go away.
Hello out in Saskatoon. Come on in.
Hi, I was wondering how you've enjoyed your years at Exhibition Stadium, seeing all the different Blue Jays games.
I've enjoyed it immensely. I'll go back to where we were. I'm looking forward to going to the Dome like everybody else is. It's home. It's brand new. But this was a bittersweet day for me today. There's a heck of a lot of memories here, and I think each of us in our own time, in our own way, Fergie, Buck, everybody associated with this thing, the fans, 46,000 plus here today, we'll miss this place. We made and lost, frankly, some nice friends along the way here. There's a lot of wonderful, warm memories here for all of us.
All right, let's go to our next call. Steve in Rexdale. Come on in, Steve.
Hi, Tom.
Hi, Steve.
I wanted to ask, all the time that you've been broadcasting, has there ever been a time that you felt like yourself getting emotional on your broadcasting career?
Good question.
Yeah, there certainly have been those moments. I'm not, you have those landmark calls, I suppose, the big plays. I wasn't particularly pleased with the clincher in 1985. The tape was rolling. It was something that we obviously wanted for posterity, but when Bell caught it and the Blue Jays won it, I lost it. And you're not supposed to do that, but I think I remembered a whole lot of people who put in a lot of blood, sweat, and tears into the years here, and I think I was thinking about them and kind of took my mind off my immediate job, and that was just describing the play.
It's tough, though, when you're following the club day in and day out. You've got to become emotional. I don't think there's any question about that. We know that. Tom, you've done a fantastic job since April 7, 1977. I hope it lasts for another 40 years, okay?
Thank you.
All right. A last look at the stadium as we leave Exhibition Stadium in Toronto for the